going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with BK. And this week is pretty special because it's draft week, man. We finally get into all the talk, all the other stuff. The nonsense is over with, and we are actually about to draft some of these high-profile, soon-to-be rookies that are going to be in the NFL. It's really good. So this week, what I have is a couple stories, and then I'm gonna give you my own top 10 of who I think is going to be where, and you guys could debate on it below after I post it. Comment, like it, and share it, and let's see what you guys think, who's going where, and what you think your team is going to do. So first, we're going to start with a couple things, man. Jabril Peppers, actually, of Michigan, who's supposed to be a top pick. They said he's going to be a first rounder for sure, which he should be. Should be one of the top defenders that come off the board. Actually, got hit with a diluted test. So basically, what happened is that he said that he had a lot of cramps coming into the combine. So he actually was drinking a lot of water and ended up having to do a urine sample. So what they do at the combine is they test you for all the different supplements and everything to make sure that it's all natural, that it meets the NFL's standards of supplements that you could take and everything like that. So when he used the bathroom, they said that it wasn't sufficient enough. So the NFL looks at that like it's automatically a failed urine sample, which means that you get put into the NFL protocol, which you'll be tested 4 times over the next year, where you have to make sure that you're clean on every single one in order to make sure that you're not in it or be suspended. So that's one of the downfalls about it. Is it's going to make him kind of look like he was not observant to the rules and didn't put himself in the correct position in order to be successful. But overall, I still think that he's going to be a good draft pick. I think that he's a great prospect, and I think that whatever team takes him, I think that he's going to do a good job with them. So the draft being right around the corner, which starts on Thursday, I'm excited about it. I want to see what everybody does and what every team does. So I'm going to go ahead and give you who I think is going where. So I'm going to start at the top and go with the number 1 overall pick for the Cleveland Browns, who's going to be Myles Garrett. I mean, this right here is a no-brainer. He's the best player on the board. He's a player that's going to come in and is going to fortify your defensive line and also help you guys out. And if you know anything about the Browns, they already have a phenomenal corner by the name of Joe Hayden, so he'll be able to help make his life a whole lot easier because, as everybody knows, the front end and the back end really go together. In order for him, once he's getting to the quarterback, that means that Joe Hayden is probably not going to have to cover as long, and he's going to be able to maybe get a couple more picks and maybe add to that resume that he already has. So with the first overall pick, I think that the Cleveland Browns should go for Myles Garrett out of Texas A&M. My number 2 pick, which is my San Francisco 49ers. We could do a whole bunch of things with this pick. We could trade back so we could gain some more picks because this is such a deep draft at DB and at defensive line. Or we could go ahead and go with the no-brainer. Right here, I think that they're probably going to be fielding a lot of calls and see what happens. But overall, I think that they're just going to stick with it because maybe we're just not going to move back far enough. I think they still want to stay in the top 15 if they do move back. But if they got to move back to like 20 or something like that, they're probably just going to keep it. And with the number 2 pick, we should take Solomon Thomas from Stanford. I mean, he's right in the same vicinity, the same area. He'll be able to come over, and he'll be able to help our defensive line, which, like I said, is going to help our pass rush, is going to help our secondary and help our linebackers where we're deficient at. 49ers have a lot of picks, and they need a lot of players this year. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do, and hopefully we're able to be successful and able to gain a bunch of good players that are going to be plug-and-play guys that are going to be able to help us out this year. Okay, so with the number 3 pick, the Chicago Bears are going to select Jamal Adams, safety from LSU. I mean, he's the top DB overall, man. He could cover. He has great ball skills, and he also comes up and lays that wood. He's able to make tackles inside the box, outside. I think he's going to go with the long list of LSU defenders, man, and just be a great person. I think he'll fit into the Chicago Bears defense because he's a hitter, he's a headhunter, like I said, and also he's able to make sound tackles, and he's not going to be a liability in coverage. So Jamal Adams to Chicago Bears at number 3. At number 4, I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars Jaguars are going to take Leonard Fournette, LSU. Once again, I know that's back-to-back LSU picks, but realistically, you just got to be smart about it and just think, what do they need? Jacksonville has a all right quarterback. They have a couple receivers. Their offensive line has gotten much better, but they need a running back that's going to be able to carry the ball 15 to 20 times a game, that's going to be able to move the chains and able to also help their defense out by keeping them off the field. The smartest thing to do here would be to take the best running back that's available on the thing, which is going to be Leonard Fournette. Okay, at number 5, I got the Tennessee Titans taking Jonathan Allen, defensive lineman from Alabama. I kind of juggled with this one. I didn't know if he was going to go at 4 or 5. It really just depends on him. But if we're going with the best player that's available on the board still, Jonathan Allen is definitely somebody who's been in big-time games. He has a national championship. He's also played in another one. And he just understands football and understands what he needs to do. He'll be able to go in and really help the Tennessee Titans just fortify their defense. Like you said, it's going to start with the defensive linemen and help them really just help that pass rush get to the quarterback and do other good things for them. So I think that Jonathan Allen right here is a really good thing. Number 6, the New York Jets. I think they're going to take Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback, out of Ohio State University, the Ohio State University. As we all know, Ohio State always has phenomenal athletes. They have great DBs. They have great receivers and other things like that. I think that he's going to be able to go in to the New York Jets and be really, really a good cornerstone for them to keep on building upon and see what happens with that defense. I think that if you get a cover corner that could lock up one side, kind of like what Darrelle Revis did, he might not be on that same level, but he'll be able to get there eventually. I think that he'll do a good job for them, and it'll also help them out because their defense needs cover skills. You need somebody that could be a good cover corner for you and do other things like that. So I think that that's going to be a perfect thing. Okay, number 7 in my division, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. I know we're not used to it. We're going to be saying San Diego for a long time, but the Los Angeles Chargers. And I think that they are going to take Malik Hooker, cornerback, also out of Ohio State University. I was kind of like our two teammates at the same position going to go back-to-back, but once again, playing in their division, the AFC West, they have to see some really good receivers. They have to see the Raiders receivers who are really good and understand about coverage and everything like that. And I just feel like him going there is going to be able to help the back end. I know Phillip Rivers is getting long in the tooth, and they probably might want to start looking at his replacement. But at the same time, this quarterback class for this first round really isn't a heavy quarterback class. So anybody that's going to take a quarterback here is really probably going to be reaching. And I think that that's probably the best thing that they can do is get a cornerback that's going to come in and at least play the nickel the first year when he gets there, which Malik Hooker could do. Also, or just put him on the outside and let him learn from his mistakes, which I think that he can do as well. So I think that with the number 7 overall pick, the Los Angeles Chargers, still not used to that. The Los Angeles Chargers are going to take Malik Hooker, cornerback out of Ohio State University. Okay, let's go on to number 8, the Carolina Panthers. What does Cam Newton need? He needs to be protected. He needs to be protected at all times. So what can he do? You could give him a running back, but at the same time, I think that we're going to go with Cam Robinson, offensive tackle out of Alabama. I think that the O-line is something that they've always been looking for. He was getting hit a lot last year. He was out with the concussions. He just had surgery. So I think that helping him up front with the protection and everything will probably be the best bet for him. So I think that if they get Cam Robinson from Alabama, it's going to help him out. It's going to help him with his confidence, and also he'll be able to step into those throws and do other things like that. So I think with the number 8 overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select Cam Robinson, offensive tackle from Alabama. At number 9, we're going to stick with the Crimson Tide, and we're going to take Reuben Foster to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals need a linebacker to go with Vontaze Burfict, somebody else that could help them with the rush. He could also rush the passer and also help them tackle. I mean, tackling is a big thing, and I think that they're going to need a lot of help on that. So I think that if they do take Reuben Foster right here, it's going to be somebody that's going to elevate their defense, another signal caller that could take a little bit of pressure off of Vontaze Burfict and also help him out with the tenacity and the ferociousness. Like I said, Alabama's played in a lot of big games over the past couple of years, and he'll be able to get in there with his college football experience and really help out that defense and really make plays for them. Okay, and my last pick that I'm doing for my mock draft, because I'm only doing the top 10, with the 10th overall pick, the Buffalo Bills select O.J. Howard, tight end, Alabama. I know that's pretty high for a tight end, but this is an inline tight end that can block, that could run with the football, and also can catch phenomenally. I think that he'll be able to help that offensive line out, because he'll be able to chip on the sides and also be able to make sure that they're protecting the quarterback, and also be his outlet and be his security blanket. And everybody knows that a good tight end, from Tony Gonzalez back in the day all the way up to now, all good tight ends are there to help their quarterback and make it easy on them. And I think that if he goes to the Buffalo Bills, him and Tyrod Taylor will be able to do get some chemistry, and also be able to help out that passing game, because that's where they're lacking at. So with the receivers that they already have on their team, plus adding OJ Howard, it'll be able to help them out and be able to do some good things. So overall, that is my top 10 of the NFL draft, which is coming out on Thursday. Let's see what happens, and let's see how many of these picks I got right. Below, just like it, comment, and also share it. And underneath it on Facebook, I want you guys to please add your top 10s of what you think is going to be, and let's have a discussion, and let's see who gets the most picks right. And lastly, man, make sure that you're following me on all my social media. So, what I usually do is I post a question of the day. Like this week is really going to be, what's your top 10? What team you like? Who's your top 10? And what do you think your team is going to do? So, if you could follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which I'm going to give you right now. So, on Twitter, it's at Coach BK underscore L. So, it's at Coach BK underscore L. On Instagram is at BK underscore 520. Instagram is at BK underscore 520. And lastly, on Facebook, it's Abubakar Banafa, which is ABUBAKARR Banafa, BHONAPHA. So follow me on all those social medias, man. Let's keep the dialogue going. I'll be posting up those questions, and even trying to go live during the draft, so we can see what you guys are thinking, and see what your team's gonna be, and who your team's gonna pick, and see what they have to do. So once again, thanks for all the support. Make sure that you follow me on all those social medias, and let's keep this dialogue and discussion going. Man, until next time, man. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Sports Talk with BK. And lastly, man, make sure that you're following me on all my social media. So, what I usually do is I post a question of the day. Like this week is really going to be, what's your top 10? What team you like? Who's your top 10? And what do you think your team is going to do? So, if you could follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which I'm going to give you right now. So, on Twitter, it's at Coach BK underscore L. So, it's at Coach BK underscore L. On Instagram is at BK underscore 520. Instagram is at BK underscore 520. And lastly, on Facebook, it's Abubakar Banafa, which is ABUBAKARR Banafa, BHONAPHA. So follow me on all those social medias, man. Let's keep the dialogue going. I'll be posting up those questions, and even trying to go live during the draft, so we can see what you guys are thinking, and see what your team's going to be, and who your team's going to pick, and see what they have to do. So once again, thanks for all the support. Make sure that you follow me on all those social medias, and let's keep this dialogue and discussion going. Man, until next time, man. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Sports Talk with BK.